Greetings, BENZTRAINZ from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, a follow-up on that Lionel tinder, the Atsf tinder. And I've been wanting to put this on a Marx consist, but of course it has a Lionel tinder on it, and there's no way to couple them. So if you remember right, I pulled the wheels off of this the other day and replaced them with steel wheels. And when I was looking at these trucks, if you notice here, there is a spot that is actually stepped that has a peg sticking up on it, as you see. So what I did was I used that peg and mounted a Marx modified coupler directly on this truck. So now it has a Marx coupler on one end and a Lionel coupler on the other end. It works absolutely perfectly. So I just got this finished and getting ready to put it on a Marx consist and see how this is going to run. So since there's a step, you can see there's the Lionel coupler, and there's a step in this plastic which puts this coupler at exactly the right height to couple with a Marx car. So let's put this on the rail. Really simple. Now this will only couple with a Lionel locomotive, of course. So I will probably eventually change that front coupler as well. Okay, so now we see that rear coupler is perfectly lined up and exactly the right height to drop into a knuckle coupler or another tab and slot, as you see. So the General with its tinder, modified tinder, is now ready to pull Marx. So let's take this around and see how it runs. Oh, would help if I turn on the power, I guess. All right, let's see how this goes. And as you see, that coupler works perfectly. So that's great. I now have a tinder that I can run with either consist. I can run it with Marx, or I can just swing the truck around and run it with Lionel. A really, really simple way to do this. Didn't cost anything, took a grand total of 5 minutes. And you just swing it around. So has a Marx tab and slot on this end and a standard Lionel knuckle on that end. So, universal tinder now. Anyway, I just wanted to do a quick video on this. It worked. It only took a minute to do it. Really simple. Like I said, the thing that took the longest was waiting for the epoxy to cure. Grand total of 5 minutes. So I just modified a coupler, as you see, dropped it over that peg, and then put a big drop of 5-minute epoxy on it. Now, originally I was going to heat that peg and sprue it out to lock that on there. But as soon as I started to heat that plastic, it shriveled rather than melting. So, not the plastic I could have used to do it that way. Anyway, so I've got that slipped over that peg with a drop of epoxy under it, and that's going to last virtually forever. So I have a Lionel coupler on one end and a Marx coupler on the other. So you can now just swing back and forth between them, which means I can run it on any consist on the layout. Really, really simple to do this. It only took a minute, cost nothing, and really made a difference because now I can run this General on the Marx rail, and I don't need an adapter or a transition car. I have one built into the tinder. And like I said, this will also couple perfectly with another tab and slot. Let's do this. So put this one in the knuckle coupler. If I can. All right. And then this, as you see, drops directly into another tab and slot. So it works. It works perfectly. So now I can run it on any track on the layout, instead of just only running Lionel with it. So as you see, it's pulling this Marx consist with no problem at all. So it looks nice, it runs nice, and it was real cheap. And now that I've modified that tender, I can run it with Marx, or I can run it with Lionel, and I don't need a transmission car. I just swing that rear truck around. So this worked. It works really, really well. It's really simple, and it seemed to be made for it. I mean, that step with that peg on it puts this at exactly the right height without having to do any kind of modification. You just literally swing it around and change from Lionel to Marx. Really, really simple. And this doesn't need to swivel because it moves with the truck. So a really, really simple modification, which now allows me to run the general on the Lionel layout, or the Lionel track, or the Marx track. So really, really simple, straightforward, easy to do. And it's nice because this is the actually first time that I've been able to run this with a Marx car. So it's virtually the perfect height. Make a bit of adjustment to it perhaps, but it works perfectly, as you see. So anyway, I just wanted to do a quick video on a simple modification to that tender. It works. It's fast, and it really, really increases what you can do with this locomotive, because now you can pull anything with it. So anyway, just a quick follow-up on that tender. It's got steel wheels, new couplers on it, so it's universal. I can run anything with this. So anyway, just a quick follow-up video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.